Threadripper might be a name you're hearing a whole lot of right now. The newest processors in the series, the Pro 7000WX and returning 7000X edition chips, are here. This isn't a video focusing on those two procs. Rather, we wanted to take a moment to zero in on what and why Threadripper is, so folks who are out of the loop on the oversized desktop CPU can see what all the hype is about. Now, Level 1 Techs has a terrific video where Wendell interviews a bunch of AMD engineers who were responsible for the origins of the Threadripper, but I wanted to go over a really quick synopsis of how the Threadripper came to be. Before the Threadripper, AMD's CPU production was focused on desktop and server chips, with nothing really in between. This was industry standard and was fairly hunky-dory. The Threadripper actually came about because when AMD was bidding for EPYC processors, they essentially had leftovers that couldn't categorically be used for another CPU. So they made a new category. After plenty of engineering and car ride to the airport pitches, AMD had created what is easily the most prosumer chip on the market, with double and then quadruple and then octuple the number of cores of the desktop chips just behind it, while idealistically maintaining a healthy sum of the individual core strength that you'd expect in your standard desktop proc. There's a lot you can say about Threadripper. Every time a new generation drops, records are broken, and the reasoning for every engineering decision can usually be answered with a resounding "why not?" In the Level 1 Techs video I mentioned before, Wendell interviewed Amit Mehra, a fellow at AMD, who I felt had a really bullseye term for the Threadripper.
What we didn't understand is that people wanted all the cores. People were buying these machines like you would buy a hot rod or you buy some race car. You're never really going to track it, but you want that sort of capability.
People love the idea of having that kind of power, even if they weren't going to use it. It's a Hellcat, a big stick, a shark in a pond. Not only was Threadripper alone in a new market, it was also cool as hell. That would be the ticket to its success, in spite of its newness, its flaws, and its price tag.
Like I mentioned before, Threadrippers were designed for prosumers, folks who work as creators within their industry, designing, modeling, and rendering all day away, who might also want a game after their workday is done. They're built to handle the heaviest tasks that any individual creator could throw at them. Nowadays, though, Threadrippers, at their highest trims, are just as powerful as most server chips. From simulations to cloud computing to AI deep learning, Threadrippers can tackle enterprise-level workloads. And in that way, they'd span the entire gap between performant desktops and performant servers. The design studios, research labs, VFX artists, and engineers we've sold them to can vouch for this. If you're looking to see what one of these procs can do, or just want a hot rod desktop of your own, we can hook you up. Call the number on screen or visit us at velocitymicro.com to configure your next Threadripper workstation, and our team right here in Richmond, Virginia will make sure it's your best one yet.